Hello and welcome to another Hardcore Nuzlocke. Today I want to attempt a run of Pokemon Fire Red. Rather than using a single type though, I want to use a single attacking move. I had a comment on a video not too long ago that said, hey, you should do a run using only Hidden Power. And today is that run. We are going to use Hidden Power as our only attacking move. I want to emphasize that right here at the start of the video that I am going to allow other moves like Growl or Leech Seed, but when it comes to a straight up attack, Hidden Power is the only thing that we can use. Now, for those of you that don't know what Hidden Power is, it was a move introduced into Generation 2, and it offers a little bit of type coverage for most Pokemon, as almost every single one can learn it via TM. It is based completely on a Pokemon's IVs. IVs are 6 different numbers assigned to 6 different stats at the encounter of the Pokemon, and that will give you your stats. That's why Pokemon of the same type and same family are not the same Pokemon, natures aside. Those stats are HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed. The numbers assigned can be anywhere from 0 to 31, and that's where you get your Hidden Power. It can be any type of Hidden Power other than Fairy because it doesn't exist in this game, and Normal. So we could have a Jolteon with a Rock type Hidden Power. The other thing that is assigned with your IVs is the base damage of the move. It can be anywhere from 30 to 70 in these games. I believe Generation 6, they changed that to a fixed 60 base damage. Also in Gen 2 and Gen 3, the move type will depict if the move is physical or special. So if you have a Rock type Hidden Power, that's going to be physical. And if you have an Electric type, it is special, just like the rest of the moves in the game. So that's going to add a challenge to the game where we're not going to possibly get a stab option. And I think this run will be that much better if we do it as a randomizer. About a year ago, I did do a randomizer, and we'll call it a soft, and I say that in quotes, randomizer, because I changed all of the encounters, but I changed nothing else. In this randomizer, I want to change the static Pokemon, in-game trades, the starters. Everybody's Pokemon are going to be different. All the gym trainers, all the random trainers throughout the entire run. I do want to make sure that things like evolutions are forced so that by the time we hit mid-game, we're fighting fully evolved Pokemon rather than having unevolved Pokemon and making things easier. I think Wonder Guard, we're probably going to tick this box just in case. I don't want to run into a trainer that has Wonder Guard and we have to struggle our way through it, at least not early game. Forced Evos, no early Wonder Guard, and I think we should click the try to use Pokemon with similar strength box. I don't know. We're just going to click a lot of buttons here, and this is going to be a nice randomizer. So we can find any Pokemon throughout this game, and I am going to allow legendaries in this run if I can catch them. I'm sure there's going to be some legendaries on different routes. We'll see what happens. Their catch rate is normally terrible. Full HM compatibility, this way I only need one HM Pokemon. I do not need Flash to get through Rock Tunnel, so one Pokemon for the other 4 HMs is going to be great. I know it seems weird to randomize the TMs because I'm only allowing Hidden Power as an attacking move, but with the random TMs, you could have any move. We could get Iron Defense, we could get Harden, it doesn't matter. And if the Pokemon can learn the move in real life, like TM9 is Bullet Seed, Bulbasaur can learn Bullet Seed, but let's say TM9 in the randomizer is Shockwave. That would allow us to learn it. Of course, I can't use that, but that is just an example. I think everything is the way I want it to be, so we are going to go ahead and save this run. And I'm going to call it like every other run here. It's going to be the Fire Red Rando run. I hope you guys enjoyed this run. It's going to be a lot of fun, I already know. I did click the button to keep the starters as 3-stage evolutions, and we could get anything here. We could get Lotad, we could get Larvitar, we could get Aeron. Many, many different options. Let's see what they are. They're probably not going to be starters from other regions, though. That would be cool. Let's see what they are. The first one is Spiel. Okay, that's a good Pokemon. Walrein is a beast. Seedot, decent. Ghastly. Yep, we're going to choose Ghastly. It's a glass cannon, but I know this thing hits very hard on the special, and provided our hidden power is special, that'll be pretty good. Now, as we nickname our Ghastly Obi-Wan here, there are a couple of different ways you can find out what your hidden power is. You can go into the grass and just start attacking things and process of elimination it. You can also go online and type in your stats, your nature, your Pokemon level, and it will spit out a potential IV spread and a potential hidden power. That's not a guaranteed thing, as I found in these different runs. Impish nature plus defense minus special attack. Well, that's not great. There is a surefire way, though, for us to find out what this hidden power is, what the attack base damage is, and we can give ourselves hidden power before this first battle right now. Using this application right here called PK Hex, we can upload our save file, FireRed Hidden Power Rando.save, and we can take a look at our Ghastly. We can see that its nature, its level, all of its different stuff. We can look at its stats, which it has a terrible special attack IV with 2. But more importantly, we can see its hidden power is water and a base 64 damage. That is really good. We can come in here into the move section and we can change this to hidden power. Then we right click on the Pokemon and hit set, and now our Ghastly has hidden power. The triangle doesn't like the fact that we put this thing in Pallet Town. Doesn't matter. We can then save our file and export it here in this application. Then we have to just load up the save file in the actual Pokemon game, and now we have a Ghastly with a water type hidden power instead of Lick. I'm definitely going to need to do some EV training, but export save, yes, done. Bingo. That's it. Now we bring the game back up, and we have to go up here to File. You go down to Import Save, and then you find your save file, and then you hit that. Once you hit that, it will reload your game, and we basically pick up from right where we left off, but instead of having a Ghastly with Lick, we now have a Ghastly with hidden power. Very nice. It's a neat application that I've just learned about, so I'm still learning. Just like in every other run, I have nicknamed the rival algorithm because I'm trying to beat the algorithm both in-game and in real life. The algorithm in-game is going to be tough, especially leading with a Vibrava that probably has Bite, but beating the algorithm in real life, I need your help. You can help me beat the algorithm by liking the video, commenting, subscribing to the channel. All of the different interactions help me so much. I appreciate it each and every week. You guys are doing a great job. Look, if you don't want to hear this next minute spiel, go ahead and skip the video ahead because some people have complained about this, but you sound like a big YouTuber. Well, look, I'm trying to have fun, but we're also trying to get a little compensated for the time that we put into this video. So if you guys want to help out in that, there is a Patreon. There's nothing special. It's just a tip jar. The link for that is in the description down below. A lot of you keep coming back each and every week, and a lot of you are not subscribed to the channel. Give that a check, please. See if you're subscribed. If you're coming back every week, you might as well subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a ton. Also, one final thing. Did you guys know that I have a Discord? If you guys want to continue conversations about the runs or about anything in general, there is a Discord, and the link is in the description below. Now, because this is a randomizer, we're going to run into a lot of different Pokemon. This isn't a monotype challenge, so we're going to be able to catch the first one on every single route. There are a lot of routes throughout Kanto. I'm not going to show every single encounter. I think we're going to do kind of a rapid fire after we've gone through a section. So from Pallet Town all the way to Pewter City, we have 4 different encounters that we can get. Once we get to Pewter City, I'll show off those encounters so you guys can at least see them. You can also see the name themes, and I'll show off the hidden powers. This is going to be a lot of editing on my part because I have screenshot every single encounter's hidden power type so you can see it as we rush through it. So we got to get through this video, we got to get this stuff edited, and hopefully you guys enjoy this run. It was so much fun. I'm just going to say that right now. Of course, our first encounter on Route 1 is a Mewtwo. Level 2 Mewtwo. The likelihood of me catching this thing is slim to none, but I'm still going to try. We're going to put this thing to sleep with Hypnosis, and I've got 5 Pokeballs on me. I'm going to throw a couple. Chances are I'm not going to catch this thing, but it would be cool to have a Mewtwo nonetheless. The best thing about seeing Mewtwo is this thing gives 3 special attack EVs, so we can do some serious EV training before the Brock battle. Now, there are a couple of items throughout this game. There are a couple of hidden items in Viridian Forest, so we can get our hands on a lot of Pokeballs. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get this thing caught just yet with chucking a bunch of balls at it. As a matter of fact, that confusion right there is very, very scary, doing almost half of our health. I do hit it with a Hypnosis again, and I do attempt to catch this thing with a couple of Pokeballs, but alas, we don't catch it with 2 more Pokeballs, and I'm worried about this thing waking up and killing our starter here, and our run has begun, so I'm just going to run away. We did manage to catch a Bulbasaur named Chewy on Route 22. It has a Lax plus defense minus special defense nature, and it has a hidden power fighting with a base 70 damage. That's pretty great. On Route 2, we caught ourselves a Lickitung named Baru. It has a quiet plus special attack minus speed nature, and its hidden power is poison with a base power of 42. Then inside of the Viridian Forest, we found a Luxury Ball, which is pretty cool, and we caught Luke here, the Dunsparce, with a hasty plus speed minus defense nature, and it has a hidden power ghost with a base 68 damage. Pretty decent team to start things off here. We got to do some training and then take on Brock. Now, I of course don't know what Brock has for Pokemon, so the only prep I can do is lead with Luke because it has Yawn. Now, I see Oddish come out first, which is okay. I think I can take this Pokemon on. Rather than putting it to sleep, I decide to go for Glare and paralyze this thing, which works out in my favor as it stays paralyzed turn 1. I fire off a hidden power ghost, and it doesn't quite do half, maybe right at half, and we get tagged with a sweet scent that doesn't matter. Looks like hidden power was a range, and we get the range to KO the Oddish with 1 more. Shelgon comes out. That's a pretty scary Pokemon for this early in the game, and we get hit with a pretty decent little headbutt as I tag it with a Yawn. We outspeed the next turn, which means we're at a speed tie, and Hidden Power Ghost does about a quarter, and we get tagged with a Leer as the Shelgon falls asleep. I go for Defense Curl to get my defense back up to neutral. Shelgon stays asleep, and I decide to go +1 with Defense Curl. Shelgon then immediately wakes up, it hits us with a headbutt, and of course gets the flinch, so he gets another headbutt in as we go down to 19 HP, firing off a hidden power that doesn't quite take Shelgon down to half. I decide to risk it to stay in, getting hit with another headbutt, going unpunished as it doesn't crit, and we can tag the Shelgon with a Yawn, and then swap into Chewy, who gets hit with a headbutt on the swap in. Shelgon falls asleep, we tag it with a Leech Seed for a little bit of recovery. I do go for Growl to lower its attack by 1 stage, sapping it just a little bit, and then Shelgon wakes up hitting a bite that flinches. Why not? It's in low red health. We get hit with 1 more bite down to half health and can fire off a hidden power fighting that KOs the Shelgon, winning us the battle. Fighting the trainers in Mount Moon gets Chewy to level 16, where it evolves into a beastly Ivysaur. Before fighting our rival, we have a few encounters. We have Omanite named Leia with a quirky neutral nature. We caught on Route 3. It has a poison hidden power base 31. That's not great. Very unfortunate. Next up, we have Han, the Metatite, with an adamant plus attack minus special attack nature. We met this thing at Mount Moon. It has a steel type hidden power with a base 59. This thing also has the pure power ability, which is the same as huge power. We then have Tarkin, the Hitmontop, with a quiet plus special attack minus speed nature, and it has a hidden power poison with a base 45 damage. It also has the Intimidate ability, which could come in handy later. That pure power is amazing. The rival battle in Cerulean, he leads with Delcatty. Okay, this Pokemon can be quite annoying. As a matter of fact, it outspeeds us and puts us to sleep with Sing turn 1 as I was going for Yawn. We then get tagged with a Growl, which doesn't matter because our hidden power doesn't affect him, but we do wake up tagging it with a Yawn very nicely. Delcatty misses a Sing. We just went for hidden power. I know it wasn't going to affect it, but I wanted to wait till this thing was asleep before we swap in Chewy. Delcatty stays asleep for 2 turns, and I can fire off a hidden power fighting that doesn't quite KO because we don't have Stab. Stab really makes a difference. Delcatty then wakes up and uses Sing to put us asleep, which is very, very annoying. And then it goes for Attract as we wake up, but stay immobilized by Love. Delcatty misses Sing. We're immobilized by Love again. We get tagged with a Sing and put to sleep. We get hit with a double slap. We stay asleep and get hit with a double slap again. And this time, I am sick and tired of the shenanigans, so I swap into Obi-Wan, who is unaffected by a double slap and can take out the Delcatty with a hidden power water. Larvitar comes out next, and it falls to a single hidden power water. Whismur comes out, and I decide to swap into Chewie to get this thing to wake up. Whismur just goes for Howl twice. Chewie wakes up, fires off a hidden power fighting, and knocks out the Whismur, just leaving Beldum. I fire off a hidden power and it doesn't quite do half. Interesting, and Beldum misses a takedown. We tag it with a Leech Seed to get this thing below half, and then it hits us with a takedown, doing a little bit of recoil damage. That combined with the Leech Seed means that hidden power fighting the next turn is enough to take it out, winning us the rival battle. Our encounter on Route 24 is an Alakazam at level 8. I do throw a Pokeball at it, but at this level, this thing is just like Abra. It has teleport, we don't catch it, and it teleports away. On Route 25, though, I managed to get myself a Seadra named Pondo. It has a serious neutral nature, and its hidden power is Flying, which is a base 67 damage. This thing might be cool to have on the team. Maybe we'll find a Dragon Scale somewhere and we can actually evolve this thing, but I'm not holding my breath. On Route 24, we do run into a Mew as we're EV training, and I'm not going to show off all the legendaries. I did run into a Regirock in Viridian Forest. It just blew up, which I had Obi-Wan out, so we were unaffected. And I think on Route 25, I ran into an Articuno. I'm not gonna go after the legendaries, but if it happens to be the first one we encounter, we'll catch it. This thing was not the first thing we ran into, but it did poison Pondo, so we gotta head back to the Pokemon Center. Now, as we're running around doing some EV training, I did want to talk to you guys for just a minute. It's been a while since we've done one of these talks, and why not? What I wanted to talk today about is being courteous. It's something that I have worked on for a very long time, and it's something I try to do all the time. And I use courteous as kind of an all-encompassing word, meaning basically paying attention to the world around you and seeing what potentially could be coming your way and acting accordingly. Like if you're walking out of a building or a gas station or something and you see somebody walking in or you see somebody following behind you walking out, I try to hold the door open for them. Especially if I see somebody carrying a bunch of stuff or they got a line of kids or whatever, it is nothing to stand there for a minute holding a door. It doesn't matter. The other time that I try to be really, really courteous is when I'm driving. I do a lot of driving with my job. So watching what's always going on to the side of me, behind me, in front of me, this way I can act accordingly. If I see a car coming up real, real fast, and I pass the vehicle I'm trying to pass, then I get over and I get out of the way and let them do whatever it is they're trying to do. That's not always the case. I wish more people would do it. The other day, and the reason I bring all this up is for this story right here. The other day, I was getting onto the interstate. There's a long line of traffic first thing in the morning because of everybody going to the military base. So I found an opening, and boom, we get behind this car, and this car had to be going 10 under the speed limit, and it's only like 30 miles an hour right here in my neighborhood anyway. Then we go to get on the interstate, and they are doing construction, but the construction is mostly over. Doesn't matter, the speed limit is still low, still at 60. But you gotta use the acceleration ramp to accelerate and get up to speed and blend in with traffic. That is the whole reason for them. If you don't blend into traffic, you cause a slowdown, and that slowdown can ripple through depending on how many people are actually on the interstate. Now, I'm not mad. I'm just going to work. I am sitting behind my steering wheel going, do you realize you're getting on the interstate? Do you know that cars are going really fast and we should get up to the speed with them? Once we get on the interstate, there wasn't a lot of traffic, so I go around this person. As I'm pulling up on their side, on their left side, they are just in their phone, engrossed in their phone. They have no idea what's going on in the world around them. And as a matter of fact, this person almost sideswiped me to where I had to give the horn a little honk, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's other people driving. What are you doing on my interstate?" They gave me an attitude, flipped me off, and then gunned it. Which I'm in a company vehicle. It's unmarked, but still, I don't drive it like I stole it. I just, okay, fine. I get back over and I cruise on to work. It was just crazy. Now, to be fair, anytime I ever pass somebody, I do look at them if they're doing something silly because I want to see if they look as silly as they're driving. And I have this problem where I have this resting bitch face, and I've had it forever. Growing up, going through what I went through in my childhood and everything leading up into adult life, I don't look very approachable until I smile and start talking. I'm a very personable person. Obviously, you can't do YouTube if you can't sit in a room and talk to yourself, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. But if you see me in a crowd, I have a face, and it's just like, man, that guy looks pissed off, or man, that guy looks like an asshole. I'm not. I mean, I can be. You know what? Let me back up. I am. I've spent many years perfecting not being, and so I try not to be every day. And for the most part, I'm not. But every now and then, like I said, if I see somebody doing something silly, I just give them that look, and I know what the look looks like, and I know it pisses people off. That was not my intent. I just wanted you to not hit my truck, please. Goodness gracious. Anyway, 4 minutes of babbling here. The whole point of that is maybe get out of your phone, pay attention to the world around you. There's so much going on and there's so much beauty to be seen. The phone can only show you so much. I'm on my phone just as much as anybody else I am, really. But when I'm driving, that thing is in my pocket, or it's sitting on my console, because every time I'm coming home from work, I always do give the wife a call. Hey, do you need anything? I'm out and about. I'm passing stores as I come home. And that's the only time I'm on my phone. So next up is Misty. And Misty leads Pidgeotto. That's an interesting lead instead of Staryu. I still lead with Luke because of Yawn and Glare. We do get outsped and tagged with a Sand Attack. No matter, we still tag Pidgeotto with a Yawn. We get tagged with another Sand Attack, and I just go for Defense Curl to let the Pidgeotto lull off into a gentle slumber. I then swap in Obi-Wan. Pidgeotto stays asleep on the swap in, and I fire off a Hidden Power Water that does a little bit over half. Pidgeotto just stays asleep, so I fire off another Hidden Power Water to take it out. And then Misty sends out Kingdra. Okay. That's the similar power Starmie. We tag it with the Confuse Ray turn 1. It breaks through confusion to tag us with a Smokescreen, which is a little bit annoying. I then fire off a Hidden Power Water, which doesn't do anything, and Kingdra does hurt itself in confusion. It's at this point I definitely need to swap, so I bring Luke back in, and Kingdra hurts itself in confusion once again. Kingdra then breaks through confusion to tag us with a Leer, and I tag it with a Yawn. Kingdra snaps out of confusion and hits us with a fairly weak water gun, and I fire off a Hidden Power Ghost that gets a critical hit all the way down to red HP. Misty, of course, uses a Super Potion as Kingdra falls asleep, and I fire off another Hidden Power that does about a quarter of its health. Kingdra stays asleep. Seeing that Hidden Power only doing about a quarter, I decide I need to swap into Chewy. Kingdra wakes up and tags us with a resisted water gun. We get hit with a Smoke Screen, and we manage to break through and tag it with a Leech Seed. Very nice. We get tagged with another weak water gun that we're healing up the damage from Leech Seed, and then we fire off a Hidden Power Fighting that gets a critical hit to knock out the Kingdra, so we were never in any real danger. On round 5, I run into a Vulpix, and I start throwing Pokeballs at this thing. Why not? Figured it'd be a good addition to the team. We do get tagged with a couple of Embers, but no matter, eventually it breaks out of the Pokeball, and then it hits us with Roar. I didn't realize this thing had Roar, so we lost out on an encounter. That is perfectly fine because on Route 6 we run into an Absol that we name Wedge with a mild plus special attack minus defense nature, and it has a hidden power fire with a base 59 damage. We run into Biggs, the Typhlosion, on Route 11. It has a quiet plus special attack minus speed nature, and it has an electric hidden power with a base 48 damage. In Diglett's Cave, we run into Greedo the Pupitar that has a Brave plus attack minus speed nature, and its hidden power is Ground with a base 55 damage. That's a nice stab option. We're getting some Pokemon here. We've got some extras, and I think Greedo is definitely going to take over the spot of Tarkin for the time being. I think Wedge is going to be added to the team too, but I'm not 100% yet. On the SSN, we have another rival battle with Algo, and he leads Skiploom this time. I'm still got Luke up front because of Yawn and Glare. I decide to immediately swap into Pondo, who has the hidden power flying, and we get tagged with a Stun Spore. That's a little bit annoying. We then get hit with a tackle, and we stay paralyzed. Very annoying. We get hit with a critical hit tackle, still not doing a lot of damage, and the Poison Point ability activates. Doesn't matter though, hidden power flying is enough to knock out the Skiploom. Next up is Mightyena. We soak up the Intimidate with Pondo, and I swap immediately into Chewy. Mightyena just goes for a Howl, so we can fire off a hidden power fighting that cleanly one-shots it. Next up is Lunatone, who goes for Harden turn 1, and I fire off that hidden power fighting that does a little over a quarter damage, but I decide to swap into Obi-Wan because water's good against rock, and I am not paying attention to what is going on here. We get hit with a Hypnosis, and I don't realize that I am part poison and this thing is part psychic because I am so focused on the hidden powers that I stay asleep, and get hit with a Confusion that cleanly one-shots Obi-Wan. I am so used to having stab moves and so on and so forth that I didn't even think about what was going on in this battle. That is a stupid death on my part, easily avoidable. Lunatone misses a Hypnosis as I bring Luke in, and we fire off that hidden power Ghost, which is what we should have done in the first place, to take Lunatone down to low red health. We then get tagged with a Hypnosis, putting us to sleep, which is very annoying. And we stay asleep, getting hit with a Confusion 2 times in a row, finally waking up and firing off a hidden power Ghost that crits, taking out the Lunatone. The critical hit was unnecessary. We see another Mightyena come out, so we soak up that Intimidate and we swap back into Chewy, and just like before, Mightyena goes for Howl, and we fire off a hidden power fighting that cleanly one-shots it. This was a very unnecessary death, but the first one of the run no matter, so we can put Obi-Wan in the Fallen box, and I hope to not add any more friends. This is a randomized Nuzlocke though, so you never know what's going to happen. Nonetheless, we can add Absol to the team, but you will not replace Obi-Wan. Lieutenant Surge is up next, and he leads Corphish. I've still got Luke out front because of Yawn and Glare. He's probably going to be my lead for most battles. I decided to see what Hidden Power does turn 1, just to see, and it looks like our Ghost Hidden Power does well over half, and Corphish just goes for Harden. So one more Hidden Power is enough to take out the crab lobster thing. It's a lobster, right? It's early, my brain's not braining. Anyway, next up is Hariyama, and I do not want to stay in because of my normal typing. I'm paying attention to that now. So we swap in Pondo, who gets hit with a Fake Out on the swap. We then fire off a Hidden Power Flying that cleanly one-shots the Hariyama. It did get a critical hit, not sure if that mattered. Last up is Drowsy. I don't think there's anything Drowsy can do to us, really, but I do swap Luke back in just for that super effective Hidden Power Ghost, and we get tagged with a Hypnosis on the swap in. Drowsy's just going for Disable, so I stay in. A couple of turns, we finally do wake up and fire off that Hidden Power Ghost, and it is enough for a clean one-shot. There is a whole slew of encounters that we got between Cerulean City and Celadon. On Route 9, we caught a Kirlia named C-3PO with a Rash plus special attack minus special defense nature, and it has a Hidden Power Steel with a base 63 damage. Not great. Next up is Owen the Tauros that we caught on Route 10. It has a Jolly plus speed minus special attack nature, and its hidden power is electric with a base 57 damage. Next up is Gyarados that we got in Rock Tunnel. We named it Moti or Motai, I don't know, doesn't matter. Bashful neutral nature with a hidden power poison, base 35 damage. We caught a Cloyster on Route 8 with an Adamant plus attack minus special attack nature, and its hidden power is Psychic with a base 58 damage. That one's pretty decent. We named it R2D2. Can you guess the name theme? Tag the Miltank was caught on Route 7 with an Impish plus defense minus special attack nature, and it has a hidden power bug with a base 64 damage. This thing is going on the team for sure. Next up is Electabuzz that we got on Route 16. It has a Timid plus speed minus attack nature, but its hidden power is Steel with a base 31 damage. That is terrible. The gift Pokemon in Celadon was a Machoke that we named Vader with a Lonely plus attack minus defense nature, and it has an electric type hidden power that is base 37 damage. Of all of these Pokemon, I'm pretty sure the only one I'm going to put on the team is Tag. But a good group of Pokemon nonetheless. 2 Intimidators on there as well. Gyarados, we're just not going to use Gyarados. You guys know why. I'm in Celadon at the department store, and you can see the TMs have changed. Number 5 is Roar, but in this game, it is Slack Off. TM15 is Tickle. We have Substitute in place of Dig, Harden in place of Brick Break, so some of these Pokemon can learn these moves, and some of these moves might be worth actually buying. I haven't shown off the TMs because we haven't found anything great. Slack Off isn't a bad TM. I think Venusaur is the only one that's going to be able to learn it. Substitute can be learned by a couple of Pokemon, but I don't want to go for substitution strats, especially in Gen 3 with how it works with the AI. Nonetheless, we haven't found any great items either. I found a metal coat and a spell tag, so Han and Luke have a couple of type boosting items, but other than that, there's just not anything great. Here where we can buy the stones, though, they've changed this. We can get the Soft Sand, Soul Dew, a Figgy Berry, a PP Up. We can actually buy PowerPoint Ups. It's crazy. Randomizers are so much fun. So normally I don't show the boss fights with Giovanni, just his gym fight, because he's not that difficult, but I wanted to show these battles as who knows what he has. He leads Corsola and I lead Tag. Going for Meditate turn 1, we get hit with a fairly weak bubble. Meditate to +2 attack, and then we get hit with a Bubble Beam that crits us all the way to 33 HP. I go for Milk Drink, getting almost back up to full health, and then get hit with a critical hit Bubble down to 58 HP. Still going for Meditate though. We get hit with another Bubble down to 50 HP, but this one gets the speed drop, which is a little bit annoying. Milk Drink heals us back up. We get hit with another Bubble, and I decide to go for Hidden Power at +4 attack. It does about half, and Corsola reads it, going for Recover. Another Hidden Power takes it back down to yellow health, and Corsola once again is going for Recover. The AI is definitely cheating, because then I swap to Meditate, and Corsola goes for Bubble. Cheaty cheaty. +6 attack with Meditate one more turn, and a Bubble down to 62 HP. We then get hit with a Bubble Beam down to 38 HP. I go for Milk Drink, bringing us back up to 80 HP, and Corsola recovers its health to full health. Hidden Power then takes Corsola all the way down to a sliver of red health. Recover brings it back up over half health, but that doesn't matter. One more Hidden Power finally takes it out. Hidden Power Bug one-shots the Oddish, and last but not least for Giovanni is Exploud. Exploud outspeeds us and tags us with a Supersonic, which we hurt ourselves in confusion, doing pretty decent damage. Exploud then goes for Howl. I break through confusion to use Milk Drink, fully healing ourselves up. Exploud uses another Howl, and we snap out of confusion, doing well over half of its health and damage with Hidden Power Bug. I don't know why, but Exploud just goes for another Howl, so we can take it out with one more Hidden Power. Next up is Erica, and she leads Kingler. That's a pretty weird and decent lead. I lead Chewy this time because I have Leech Seed and Poison Powder. We tag Kingler with a Leech Seed turn 1, and we get hit with a Mud Shot that does lower our speed. I think Kingler has Stomp, so it's going to go for the speed lowering and then try to flinch us. We get hit with a Stomp like I thought we would, and I go for Poison Powder, which connects. Now this thing is losing a lot of health just by being sapped to death. typical grass Pokemon strategies. I then swap into Tag because I know we're going to get hit with another Stomp, and it doesn't do a lot of damage to Tag. Kingler is at half health as I go for Meditate to raise our attack, and we get hit with a Mud Shot to lower our speed. We're at +1 attack and -1 speed. Erica then uses a Hyper Potion to fully heal up the Kingler. I go for another Meditate to be at +2 attack. Then another Meditate to get us to +3 as Kingler goes for another Mud Shot, getting us to -2 speed. Kingler then uses a Harden. We are outsped at this point, but I go for a Hidden Power that takes Kingler down to low red health. The Leech Seed takes it to a Sliver, and the poison damage finishes it off. Crawdaunt comes out and is immediately one-shot with a Hidden Power Bug, and last but not least is Jinx. Jinx goes for Lovely Kiss, which luckily misses, and we can take it out with a Hidden Power Bug, beating Erica fairly easy. She's never difficult, is she? In the Pokemon Tower, we run into our rival that says, "What brings you here? Is your Pokemon dead?" Hey, it's alive! He is such a selfish... You killed Obi-Wan. Nonetheless, he leads with an Eevee, and I lead Tag. I forgot to put Chewy up front. No matter. We go for Hidden Power Bug turn 1, and it does well over half as we get tagged with a Sand Attack. A Sand Attack actually makes us miss our next Hidden Power, and we get tagged with a Growl. We get hit with a Quick Attack, and I go for Meditate to get us back up to neutral attack damage. We then miss another Hidden Power as we get tagged with a second Sand Attack. Eevee then hits us with a Quick Attack, and we finally break through that -2 accuracy to finish it off with another Hidden Power. Out comes Beautifly, so I swap immediately into Wedge, who gets tagged with a Stun Spore on the swap in, and then hit with a Gust. Hidden Power Fire connects, one-shotting the Beautifly. Out comes Cyndaquil, so I swap into Greedo. Greedo gets hit with an Ember on the swap in that gets the burn. Of course it does. Luckily, Shedskin comes in clutch, healing off the burn, and then a Hidden Power Stab Ground one-shots the Cyndaquil. Next up is Aipom, so I swap into Chewy, and we get tagged with a Sand Attack on the swap in. We then miss a Hidden Power, get hit with another Sand Attack for -2 accuracy, missing another Hidden Power. We get hit with a very weak Astonish, miss a Hidden Power, get hit with another Astonish, and miss a fourth Hidden Power. A fifth Hidden Power is missed, and we get tagged with a Tail Whip, finally connecting with a Hidden Power fighting to one-shot the Aipom. That was very, very annoying. Ladian comes out, so I swap back into Wedge. It just sets up Reflect, and then uses Safeguard. We tag it with a Hidden Power Fire that does well over half, and then it finally decides to attack us with a Comet Punch. Doesn't do much damage. We fire off another Hidden Power Fire, beating our rival. The first sleeping Snorlax that I run into turns out to be Suicune. Oh, Greedo is poisoned because of some synchronized shenanigans when we were doing some training coming down the route. So I'm going to swap in Luke. Technically, we could catch this thing, but I'm just going to run. We get a beastly evolution here. Chewy evolving into its final form of Venusaur, which is just a chunky, bulky Pokemon. Ever since I caught this thing, I knew it was staying on the team. But this bulk is very much needed. Well, we come over to Cycling Road, and we might as well wake up this Snorlax and see what this one is. Maybe it'll be one of the other dogs, or some other legendary. Who knows? It could be anything. The beauty of a randomizer. And it is a Bayonet. Okay. Bayonet has similar strength to Snorlax and Suicune? I doubt that. After beating Erica, this opens up all the routes heading to Fuchsia. So many spots to catch Pokemon, but the first one was in Pokemon Tower, a Chinchou named Boshek with a docile, neutral nature. It has an Ice-type hidden power that is a base 68 damage. That's pretty nice. Probably going to be added to the team. Next up is Lapras on Route 12, named Nabrun. It has a Calm plus special defense minus attack nature. Hidden power ground, base damage 61. Next up is Wooher the Paris that has a naive plus speed minus special defense nature. Caught on Route 13, it has a steel hidden power with a base damage of 42. Ketwall the Dratini was caught on Route 14 with a lonely plus attack minus defense nature, and its hidden power is flying with a base damage of 43. We then got Silcoon on Route 15. It has a calm plus special defense minus attack nature, and this one has an ice type hidden power with a base 70 damage. But it's a Silcoon, which evolves into Beautifly. Next up is Porygon that we caught on Route 17 with a sassy plus special defense minus speed nature, and Senny here has a steel hidden power with 59 base damage. On Route 18 we caught the bashful neutral nature Drowsy named Jazz, has a fighting hidden power with a base 41 damage, and last but not least is the Poliwag that we forgot to name when we caught it in the Safari Zone with a gentle plus special defense minus defense nature, has a rock type hidden power that is base 50 damage. This thing we're probably going to put on the team because I actually got a Water Stone from one of the random items somewhere, I believe in the box. Need to take out the HM Mon and move it onto the team and fly back to the Name Raider, which is in Lavender Town, so that we can name Poliwag. We're also going to put Chinchou on the team because of that ice typing, and I think Greedo will get swapped out for the Poliwag. We ended up nicknaming the Poliwag Bree, and it evolves very quickly with one singulatory level into a very nice Poliwhirl. With the aforementioned Waterstone in hand, we can go ahead and evolve Poliwhirl into Poliwrath. This is a fun Pokemon to play around with, and because it has a hidden power rock, it's actually going to be kind of useful. We get another good evolution with Boshek evolving into a Lantern. We're just training up the whole damn team here. This is a beastly evolution. We just used this in a run, and Lantern is a great Pokemon. With only attacking move being hidden power though, I don't know. Last for the evolutions is Han. At level 37, it evolves into a Medicham. This is a Pokemon I've used one time before. Having that hidden power Steel with an adamant nature and the huge power or pure power ability, this thing has been pretty good in the back, and this just adds some more bulk. There are still plenty of routes that we can encounter more Pokemon on. All of the routes head into Cinnabar, Seafoam Islands, 1 Island, 2 Island, 3 Island, Power Plant, Victory Road. There's a bunch more encounters that we could get, but with what we have on the right-hand side, I think we've got all the encounters I want. Plus, I have a bunch in the box still that we can play around with if any Pokemon faint. So with that being said, I don't think we're going to get any more encounters unless I run into something crazy good or a shiny. So next up for us is Koga, and of course his level cap and Sabrina's level cap are the very same at level 43, so we have to come in here a bit under leveled, and this is very scary. He leads Hypno, and I lead Chewy. The one time I don't lead Luke. This would have been a perfect lead. Nonetheless, I do swap Luke in as Hypno goes for Meditate, and Hidden Power does a lot of damage, putting Hypno at low red health. It goes for another Meditate, and then Koga goes for a Hyper Potion, fully healing this thing up. I can hit it with a Hidden Power back to low red health, and then one more to take it out. Slowbro comes out next. I fire off a Hidden Power Ghost that does about half, and it just goes for Amnesia. That's fine because Ghost is physical in this game. We fire off another Hidden Power, and it leaves Slowbro on a sliver. Koga then goes for a Hyper Potion, his last. 2 more Hidden Powers actually take the Slowbro out, as we got the favorable range this time, and out comes Exploud. We immediately swap into Chewy as we've done before, and it just goes for Howl. Can fire off that Hidden Power Fighting that doesn't quite get the KO. You see, the Stab is very important because if we had those, we would have KO'd both the Hypno and the Exploud. No matter, 1 more Howl and 1 more Hidden Power Fighting, take it out. Last but not least for Koga is Manectric. Manectric goes for Bite. I miss a Leech Seed. It goes for Bite again and gets a Flinch. I get hit with another Bite, and this time we finally tag the Manectric with Leech Seed. That brings us back up to 63 HP, so I decide to stay in, tanking another Bite that would not have KO'd if it crit, getting off a Poison Powder, doing some double Leech damage. I then swap into Han. Koga has a full heal. I did not know that. That is very interesting, so now it's just losing damage to Leech Seed. We get hit with a Spark for almost half of our health, and then we fire off that Hidden Power Steel, take a Manectric down to a sliver, and Leech Seed finishes it off. At this point in the game, we're in the boss rush. So next up is the rival battle here in Sylph. Then we have Giovanni, Sabrina, Blaine, Giovanni again, the final rival battle, then the Elite Four stuff. So starting out, Wigglytuff. I led with Chewy, which was a good lead because we can fire off a hidden power fighting. That doesn't quite take Wigglytuff out because we don't have stab. It just misses a sing, which is great, and we can take it out with another hidden power fighting. Stab is very important, and I think we're going to do a run where we don't use stab moves because of this right here. Next out for our rival is Starmie, so I swap into Tag, who gets hit with a Swift on the swap in, and then I can fire off a hidden power bug that is super effective and does well over half. We get tagged with a Confuse Ray, which is a bit annoying, but I stay in and break through the confusion to take it out with one more hidden power bug. Blastoise then comes out. I almost swapped in Boshek just out of habit, but no electric type moves, so I swap in Chewy, who can resist the water gun on the swap in. Tagging Blastoise with a Leech Seed, getting hit with a bite that we heal off most of that damage with a Leech Seed. Blastoise then goes for Protect so we don't get off our Poison Powder, which is a bit annoying, but we're healed up to full health with Leech Seed, finally tagging this thing with Poison Powder. We get hit with another bite. It's doing 3 damage after the heal back with Leech Seed. This puts Blastoise into low health, so we hit it with a hidden power fighting, taking it to middle yellow health, as it takes us to 104 with a bite, and then we heal up to 119 HP with Leech Seed. Leaving Blastoise on a sliver of health, it just goes for Protect, so another little Leech Seed saps it, and bye-bye Blastoise. Next out is Clefable. I go for hidden power fighting that leaves it on a sliver, and we get hit with a double slap. That's perfectly fine. We can take it out with one more hidden power fighting, and last out is Seaking. We tag it with a Leech Seed turn 1, and we get hit with a fairly weak Horn Attack that we heal up all of the damage with Leech Seed, and then I fire off a hidden power fighting that gets a critical hit, leaving Seaking on a sliver. We get tagged with a Supersonic, which doesn't matter because the Leech Seed damage at the end of the turn wins us the battle. I beat all the trainers at Sylph and ransacked the place, and out of all the items here, the only thing I found that was worth mentioning was a couple of scope lenses which boost our critical hit chance. Other than that, nothing great. Against Giovanni's lead Omastar, I lead Bree. Omastar goes for Protect turn 1, so we miss our hidden power rock. Turn 2, we get to fire one off, but as I suspected, it doesn't do a lot of damage, and we get tagged with a Leer. So I swap in Han. Han gets tagged with a Leer on the swap in. No matter, I fire off a hidden power steal, and it does very good damage down to middle yellow health. We get tagged with another Leer, and Omastar goes for Protect, which I go for Meditate, so that was perfect. I then use Hidden Power Steal to take out the Omastar. I think we needed that +1 to attack. It was a pretty good read. Aerodactyl comes out, and it's a little bit dangerous to stay in as we get outsped, but he misses a Supersonic, and I can fire off a super effective Hidden Power Steal one-shotting the Aerodactyl. That was pretty good. Risky, but we did it. Aggron comes in and uses Protect turn 1, so I miss a Hidden Power. It whiffs a Protect turn 2, so we can hit this thing with a Hidden Power Steal, and it doesn't quite do half. So as Aggron goes for Protect, I go for Meditate. Thinking that Aggron is going to go for Protect again, I go for another Meditate, but it didn't in fact go for it. It just went for Takedown, which actually misses. No matter, I can fire off the +3 Hidden Power Steal that takes out the Aggron, and Outlast for Giovanni is Piloswine, which we can outspeed and take out with a +3 super effective Hidden Power Steal. Next up is Sabrina, and Sabrina leads Steelix turn 1. Oof. Doesn't matter, I tag this thing with a Yawn turn 1 and it sets up the Sandstorm. A bit annoying, but the chip damage is what it is. I go for Screech turn 2. Steelix uses Harden to bring itself to -1 defense as it falls asleep. I go for Screech to get this thing to -3. Steelix stays asleep, we're taking some chip damage. I get this thing to -5 with one more Screech, and then Steelix wakes up and hits us with a Dragon's Breath that does paralyze. Steelix uses Harden to get itself to -4, and I go for another Yawn. We get hit with a Dragon Breath as I stay paralyzed. That's a bit annoying, but Steelix does fall asleep and I can swap in Chewy. I decide to go for Hidden Power Fighting to see if I can take this thing out at -4 defense, and we do one-shot it. Very nice. Dewgong comes out next, and being that it is part Ice type, I go for that Hidden Power Fighting, and we don't get the one-shot because, again, Stab is very important. We get hit with an Icy Wind that doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does lower our speed, which is annoying. Sabrina then goes for a Hyper Potion, and I go for Hidden Power again, taking Dewgong right back down to red health. This puts her in a heal lock where she uses up her next Hyper Potion, so 2 more Hidden Power Fightings take it out. Gengar comes out next, and I swap in Luke despite being paralyzed. I know this is a little bit risky, and we get tagged with a Confuse Ray on the swap in. No matter, we break through Confusion and Paralysis because Luke is the freaking GOAT, and we take out the Gengar with 1 Hidden Power Ghost. Last up for Alakazam is Shuckle, and you do not muckle with the Shuckle. I go for Screech, and it is just going for Bide, so we can lower this thing's defense a little bit. After we get a couple of Screeches off and some Paralysis shenanigans, I do swap in Chewy and go for Leech Seed. I shouldn't have gone for Leech Seed, I should have just went for Hidden Power Fighting because we easily one-shot it, winning us the 6th gym badge. Next up is Blaine, and against his Beautifly, I am once again leading Luke. Now, I decide to swap into Bree turn 1, and we get hit with a Giga Drain on the swap in. That's a little bit scary because of our water typing, but again, Beautifly is a terrible, terrible Pokemon. I fire off a Hidden Power Rock that is quad super effective, one-shotting the Beautifly. Out next, surprisingly, is Charizard, which also goes down to a quad super effective Hidden Power Rock. Ladian then comes out, and it too is quad weak to rock, so it goes down in a single shot. Bree putting in some work. Bayonet is last out, so I swap into Luke. Bayonet goes for Curse, cutting its own HP in half as we come in, putting a Curse on Luke, but we can take it out with a Hidden Power Ghost the very next turn, winning us a very easy 7th gym badge. The final gym leader of the Kanto region is Giovanni, who leads Xatu, and luckily I had Luke up front. It sets up a future sight, and I tag this thing with a Hidden Power Ghost that cleanly one-shots, because Xatu is not great. Magcargo comes out next, and I really wish I had Obi-Wan at this point. No matter, I do swap Bree in, and Magcargo was just going for Harden, raising its defense. I fire off a Hidden Power Rock, does a lot of damage despite the +1 to defense, and Magcargo just goes for Harden again. Bree takes the future sight attack, finally taking some damage, and we fire off another Hidden Power that takes Magcargo down to low yellow health. We get hit with a flamethrower that doesn't do much damage, and Giovanni goes for a Hyper Potion. Hidden Power still doing a bunch of damage, but not enough, and I don't want this battle to drag on, so I go for Rain Dance, weakening the power of Flamethrower that much more. We then put Magcargo to sleep with Hypnosis, luckily it hit, and then I swap in Chewy. Get a Leech Seed off as Magcargo stays asleep, and then we can fire off a Hidden Power Fighting, that doesn't quite take out the Magcargo as it stays asleep, but the Leech Seed takes it out. Aipom comes out next, and we fire off a Hidden Power Fighting that takes it out in a single shot, and next up is Exploud. We go for Hidden Power Fighting, taking it to low red health as it misses a Supersonic, and then Giovanni uses its final Hyper Potion. So 2 more Hidden Power Fightings take out the Exploud. Last up for Giovanni is a Starmie. We get outsped and hit with a Swift, and then we fire off a Leech Seed. I immediately swap into Tag, who gets hit with a Swift on the swap in, and then I can fire off a Hidden Power Bug, getting us the 8th gym badge. Oh, the final rival battle here is a long one. He leads Ampharos as I lead Luke, and I go for a Screech turn 1 to lower this thing's defense because I don't think I can two-shot it. We then get tagged with a Thunder Wave like I thought we would, but I don't have any berries. As a matter of fact, I have found 1 Citrus Berry and nothing else good. We then get outsped and hit with a Thunder Punch that takes us all the way down to 79 HP. It was a critical hit, but still that's very scary. Hidden Power takes Ampharos down to low yellow health as well, but I'm nervous that we could lose Luke, so I decide to swap into Chewy, who can resist the Thunder Punch on the swap in, and then fire off a Hidden Power Fighting, taking out the Ampharos. Slowbro comes in. I decide to go for Leech Seed to tag this thing with some chip damage as it goes for Amnesia. That works out perfect, and my plan here is to swap in Tag. Slowbro goes for Amnesia. I then go for Heal Bell to get rid of the paralysis on Luke to bring it back in to start getting some heal back from the Leech Seed, but Slowbro goes for Psychic. So my plans have quickly changed. I just fire off a Hidden Power Bug that one-shots the Slowbro, and out comes Nidoqueen. I decide to stay in turn 1 and go for Milk Drink, fully healing myself up and tank a Body Slam, then swap into Boshek, who tanks a Body Slam very well, firing off a Hidden Power Ice that takes Nidoqueen into low red health. We get hit with a Body Slam that paralyzes us, so we get outsped and hit with another Body Slam before we finally take that thing out with a Hidden Power Ice. Next up is Muck. It goes for Minimize turn 1, and I break through that -1 to evasion, or +1 to evasion rather, and hit it with a Confuse Ray. I swap in Chewy. Muck is confused, and it hurts itself in confusion. Very nice. We miss a Leech Seed, and Muck hurts itself in confusion for a second time. It evades the Leech Seed again and hurts itself for a third time. The confusion luck has been great. Breaking through the +1 evasion has not been great. We finally tag this thing with a Leech Seed. Now it hurts itself in confusion for a fourth time, and we're getting some Leech Seed damage back. I decide to swap in Luke at this point to get that heal back like I originally planned, but Muck snaps out of confusion and hits us with a sludge that does a decent amount of damage and gets the poison, because why not? This takes us down to 17 HP. We didn't lose Luke, but that is twice now we have almost lost this damn Pokemon. I immediately swap into Tag, who gets hit with a sludge on the swap in. Luckily no poison. Little bit of Leech Seed recovery. I then decide to just take this Muck out with a Hidden Power. I'm done with the shenanigans, and next out is Clefable. I swap into Chewy as Clefable goes for Minimize. The evasion strategies are on my last nerve because we miss Hidden Power after one Minimize. Clefable then goes for a second Minimize. Why wouldn't it? We break through and hit it with a Hidden Power down to low red health. It goes for a third Minimize. This is a battle of attrition at this point. I stay in and go for Hidden Power that misses, and Clefable goes for Metronome, and Metronome pulls Fake Tears, lowering our special defense by 2 stages. Hidden Power misses again. Metronome pulls the Light Screen, which is no matter for us, because we finally connect with a Hidden Power fighting that is physical, taking out the Clefable. Boy, that was annoying. Bayonet is last for our rival. I go for Leech Seed, and we get the Leech Seed turn 1. Bayonet misses Will-O-Wisp. Perfect. Turn 2, we miss Poison Powder, but Bayonet gets the Will-O-Wisp. That's annoying, but it's okay. Turn 3, we get the Poison Powder off, and we get hit with a weak Feint Attack. Now that we're getting a lot of chip damage, I go ahead and swap into Tag, who gets hit with a Feint Attack on the swap in, doing a little bit of damage. The chip damage from Poison Powder and Leech Seed is starting to stack up, though, so I go for a Heal Bell just in case things go crazy and get tagged with a Will-O-Wisp. That's no big deal. The rest of my team has no more status conditions. Poison Powder and Leech Seed take out the Bayonet. So here is everybody leveled up to level 60 to match Lance's Dragonite. We have Luke, the Dunsparce with Hidden Power, Screech, Yawn, and Kinesis. Chewy, the Venusaur with Hidden Power, Synthesis, Leech Seed, and Poison Powder. Boshek, the Lantern with Hidden Power, Thunder Wave, and randomly Spiderweb and Confuse Ray. Because why not? Bree, the Poliwrath with Hidden Power, Hypnosis, Mind Reader, and Tickle. Tag, the Miltank with Hidden Power, Heal Bell, Meditate, and Milk Drink. And rounding out the team is Han, the Medicham with Hidden Power, Meditate, Recover, and Detect. I think this is a good team. I think this is the moveset we're going to go for. Wish me luck. First for the Elite Four is Lorelei. She leads Granbull, and I have Chewy up front, which is perfect. The Intimidate attack lowering is a little bit annoying, as our first Hidden Power does right at half of Granbull's health. Luckily, it goes for Takedown, so it's going to do some recoil damage, ensuring that our second Hidden Power takes it out. Next out for Lorelei is Crobat. Knowing this thing has a flying move and it's very scary, I decide to pivot through Boshek, who takes the Air Cutter very well, and then I swap in Bree, who takes a Poison Fang very well. We get outsped and hit with an Air Cutter the next turn, and we fire off a Hidden Power Rock that does half health. We take another Air Cutter, risking a critical hit here, down to 51 HP, but another Hidden Power Rock does get the range and take out the Crobat. That is a very dangerous Pokemon. Next up is Tauros. We tank the Intimidate, or Soak It Up rather, with Bree, and then we swap into Chewy. Chewy gets hit with a Thrash on the swap in, doing a decent amount of damage. Outsped and hit with another Thrash down to 45 HP, but Synthesis is curing us up very nicely. Tauros is confused because of fatigue and hurts itself in confusion, so I get healed all the way to full health with Synthesis. Very nice. Tauros breaks through confusion to hit a Thrash down to 140 HP, but a Hidden Power Fighting that gets a critical hit one-shots the Tauros. Very nice. Out next is Quagsire. I decide to tag it with a Leech Seed as it goes for Earthquake. I then swap into Han, who gets hit with an Earthquake on the swap end, doing a decent amount of damage, but a little bit of heal up from Leech Seed is very nice. What we can do here is set up a Meditate, and for whatever reason Quagsire goes for Rain Dance, because we could easily tank another Earthquake. We get a little bit of Leech Seed damage, and then I go for Protect, so we miss that Earthquake, and then we get healed up to 153 out of 154 HP. Go for Meditate, and then we tank an Earthquake back down to about half health, and Leech Seed pulls us back up just a little bit, and then we can fire off a Hidden Power Steel that takes out the Quagsire. Last out is Clefable. With that couple of boosts to our attack, a Hidden Power Steel one-shots it, winning us the first Elite Four battle. Bruno is the second for the Elite Four, and he leads Illumise as I've got Luke out there. Now I'm trying to go for Screech turn 1, but we get outsped and hit with Flatter, which is the same thing as Swagger, where it ups our special attack, but it confuses us, which we hurt ourselves in confusion the next turn. The only thing that's nice about that is when you hurt yourself in confusion, it is based on your physical attack, so didn't do a lot of damage to ourselves. Covet does a little bit of damage. We break through confusion to tag Illumise with a Screech, and then I swap in Bree. Bree gets hit with a Covet on the swap in, and then fires off a Hidden Power Rock to one-shot the Illumise. Out comes Furret. I go for Mind Reader, and then Furret just misses a Slam, so I can put this thing to sleep with the Hypnosis. I then swap in Chewy, fire off a Hidden Power Fighting that takes it low into yellow health, and Koga goes for a full restore, so we get the back-to-back Hidden Power Fightings to take it out. Poliwrath is out next. That's pretty neat that Bruno actually has a fighting type. I Leech Seed at turn 1, and then Poliwrath puts us to sleep. It misses a submission as we stay asleep. I'm risking a couple of things here, but it goes for Mind Reader, and scared of what it's going to do next, I swap it into Poliwrath, who gets hit with a submission. A little bit of recoil damage on Poliwrath, and the Leech Seed brings it down to half. Very nice. I then go for Tickle to lower the attack and defense, and we get hit with another submission that takes Poliwrath low, plus the Leech Seed damage, low yellow health. I then fire off a Hidden Power Rock, which is not very effective. We get put to sleep because of Hypnosis, and then the Leech Seed takes out the Poliwrath. Kingler comes out next, so I swap in Tag, who gets hit with a Stomp on the swap in, and I go for Heal Bell to cure up the status condition on Bree. We then get tagged with a Mudshot, lowering our speed, which is a bit annoying, but we still outspeed to hit a Hidden Power that gets a crit to just about half. One more Mudshot to lower our speed, and now the Kingler outspeeds us and hits us with Stomp. I go for Milk Drink, which fully heals up Tag, and then I swap out into Chewy. Chewy gets hit with a Stomp on the swap in, and then we tag Kingler with a Leech Seed. We get hit with a Mudshot for that speed control. Leech Seed saps him, and then we get hit with a Stomp that does flinch. That's its whole thing. We then get hit with a Stomp that crits us down to 80 HP, and a Hidden Power Fighting takes this thing to a sliver of red health, and Leech Seed finishes it off. It's amazing how much Leech Seed has helped us through this entire run. Last out for Bruno is his Starmie, so like I've done every other run, I swap into Tag, who gets hit with a Swift on the swap in, and then a Hidden Power Bug takes this thing below half. We get tagged with a Confuse Ray, and I don't want to deal with Confuse Ray damage, so I swap into Luke. Starmie goes for Recover, healing itself back up to full. Then we get hit with a Swift, and I go for Hidden Power Ghost that takes Starmie below half health again. Starmie just goes for Swift, so we don't have to worry about this battle of attrition. One more Hidden Power Ghost takes it out. Next up is Agatha, and she leads Dugong, and I lead Bree. That's perfect. I fire off a Hidden Power Rock that does a decent amount of damage to Dugong, putting it right at half health. Dugong then goes for Takedown, so the recoil from Takedown ensures that the next Hidden Power Rock takes out the Dugong. Furo comes out, we outspeed it to hit it with a Hidden Power Rock, and I know this is a bit risky to stay in, but it just goes for agility. It does outspeed us the next turn to hit us with Drill Peck that takes us down to 90 HP, which definitely would have killed us if it had crit, but no matter, I go unpunished with another Hidden Power Rock to take out the Furo. Pelipper comes out next, and I know this thing doesn't have a lot of good moves, so I stay in and hit it with a Hidden Power Rock that does well over half of its health, and then it goes for Stockpile. Stockpile doesn't work the same in this generation, so it doesn't boost its defense. It just stockpiles one, and another Hidden Power takes it out. Bree taking out 3 of Agatha's 5 Pokemon. We then see Tyranitar. Well, that's very, very scary. What I decide to do is swap in Tag, who gets hit with a Scary Face on the swap in, lowering our speed. That is a bit annoying, so we get hit with a Crunch the next turn, and it does a lot of damage. Hidden Power Bug does about a third, and I know that we can survive this battle of attrition, but I gotta do some workaround, swapping Luke out on a Crunch that does just about half. With the Sandstorm chip damage, I know that he could two-shot us, but I stay in and go for Yawn, thinking Tyranitar is going to go for Scary Face, which it does. Speed control is the number one importance in these Gen 3 games. I can then swap back into Tag, who gets hit with a Crunch, tanking it on 56 HP. Sandstorm chips us down to 44 HP, and Tyranitar falls asleep. Milk Drink brings us back up to 145 HP. A little bit more chip from the Sandstorm, and then another Milk Drink brings us to full HP. After the chip damage from Sandstorm, we are sitting at 190 HP and can fire off a Hidden Power, bringing Tyranitar to a third of its health. This whole time it has stayed asleep, it stays asleep again. We get a little bit more chip damage from the Sandstorm and take out the Tyranitar with one more Hidden Power Bug. Last out for Agatha is her Rhydon. Perfect synergy with the Sandstorm. I fire off a Hidden Power Bug, and it of course does minimal damage. Rhydon then fires off a nasty, nasty Earthquake, and I don't want to lose Tag, so I decide to swap in Han. Han tanks the Earthquake fairly well on 58 HP, and then the chip damage does a little bit, but I figured Han could take out the Rhydon from this health. Unfortunately, we do not. Hidden Power Steel takes the Rhydon down to low red health, and that means Rhydon can take out Han with an Earthquake. Well, see, no calculations, things happen. I bring Chewy out, which is what I should have done in the first place. We take a little bit of chip damage from Sandstorm, and then we take out the Rhydon with a Hidden Power fighting. It did cure up from a Citrus Berry, no matter. Losing a Pokemon is never great, but now it is a 5-on-5 against Lance. He leads Altaria as I lead Bree. This is a bit scary, but I know Altaria doesn't have a lot of flying options. So I just go for Mind Reader to ensure Hypnosis hits the next turn, and Altaria goes for Dragon Dance. That means it outspeeds the next turn and tags us with Perish Song. Interesting. I put the Altaria to sleep, and then I swap into Boshek. Altaria stays asleep, and as I'm going to go for Spiderweb, which I think would be a hilarious move, locking this Pokemon in, Lance reads it and withdraws, bringing out Quagsire. I hit Quagsire with a Spiderweb, that doesn't matter. I decide to swap in Chewy as Quagsire goes for Yawn. That is very annoying, so I swap in Luke, who gets tagged with a Yawn, and I just leave Luke in to tag Quagsire with a Yawn. We then tank an Earthquake and fall asleep, and I swap into Tag as Quagsire goes for Amnesia. It then falls asleep, and then there is 5 minutes of back and forth with me going for Meditate to get to +6, Quagsire using Rain Dance and Amnesia, putting me to sleep, Heal Bell to heal up the rest of the Pokemon, eventually waking up and hitting a Hidden Power to leave Quagsire on a Sliver. We get tagged with a Yawn when that happens, and Lance goes for a full restore. Yeah, Milk Drink to heal myself up just before I fall asleep, and then we get hit with an Earthquake. We stay asleep. He tries to go for Yawn, which is really random, and we wake up and go for Milk Drink. At this point, I can finally take Quagsire back down to low health with a hidden power, and then I click the wrong damn button as we get hit with an Earthquake, finally taking out the Quagsire with one more hidden power. The Zangoose comes out and falls to a single hidden power, and then Altaria comes out next. We hit it with a hidden power that doesn't quite do half, even at +6 attack, and Altaria goes for Dragon Dance. Not that scary in this generation. Dragon Dance once again, and another hidden power gets the range to take out the Altaria. We're getting low on hidden power points as Scizor comes out. We don't quite do half because it's not very effective, and Scizor goes for Iron Defense. That is very annoying. Another hidden power takes this thing into low yellow health as it goes for one more Iron Defense. My last hidden power point takes it into low red health, and we get hit with a Slash. I'm forced to swap at this point. Lance is going to go for a full restore, so we get Chewy in for free. I go for a Leech Seed to start getting some chip damage. Unfortunately, we can't hit this thing with Poison Powder because of Steel typing, but we do get hit with a critical hit Slash down to 112 HP. Leech Seed heals up, Scizor goes for another Iron Defense, and I swap into Boshek. Boshek comes out on a Slash that does a decent little bit of damage, and then I confuse the Scizor. It hurts itself in confusion the very next turn, and we can start firing off Hidden Power Ice. It is resisted, but it is a special attack. Scizor breaks through confusion to hit us with a Slash, but the combination of Leech Seed and Hidden Power take it out, revealing Arcanine as Lance's final Pokemon. We soak up the Intimidate, we get hit with an Extreme Speed on the first turn and can confuse the Arcanine. Arcanine does not cooperate, breaking through confusion to hit us with an Extreme Speed down to 57 HP, but I tag it with a Thunder Wave. I don't think that's going to help, but he's only got 3 more power points of Extreme Speed. I then swap in Bree, who gets hit with an Extreme Speed on the swap in, and then we can fire off a Hidden Power that does a decent amount of damage, but not quite half, with the healing of the Citrus Berry. Arcanine stays paralyzed, and I go for Tickle to lower its attack and defense, and then we get hit with another Extreme Speed, doing a decent little bit of damage, but with that minus defense, one more hidden power after the Arcanine stays paralyzed can take this thing out. The battle with the champion, our rival, Algo, is such a long battle. He leads Aggron, and I lead Bree. Aggron goes for Protect turn 1, so I don't get the Mind Reader off, but no less, we connect with a Hypnosis the very next turn, and we swap in Chewy. Aggron cooperates and stays asleep enough for us to get off 2 hidden power fightings to take out the Aggron. Slowbro comes out, I swap into Luke as it goes for Amnesia. I fire off a hidden power Ghost that doesn't quite do half, and it goes for Amnesia again. I go for Screech, ensuring that we will get the 2-shot, and Slowbro fires off a decent Psychic down to almost half health. One more hidden power Ghost takes out the Slowbro, though, and out comes Whiscash. I swap into Chewy, and we get hit with an Earthquake on the swap in, getting off a Leech Seed, and then we get hit with Fissure. He connected with a 30% accurate Oko move. Well. This isn't the best play on my part, but I put Boshek in and confused the Whiscash. It hurts itself in confusion, Leech Seed damage, and whatnot, plus Hidden Power Ice take this thing into yellow health. We then get hit with an Earthquake, which if it doesn't crit, I know we can survive at least one, which we do on 71 HP because of no critical hit. Leech Seed takes Whiscash low, and another Hidden Power Ice takes it even lower, but doesn't KO it, so we have to tank another Earthquake, which we can't. Boshek goes down. That is 3 Pokemon down. I bring out Luke just to soak up that little bit of Leech Seed recovery, and Whiscash goes down. Out comes Donphan, and I go for Yawn. We get hit with an Earthquake that takes us all the way to 31 HP. I know I'm not going to survive if I bring anybody else in, so I go for Screech, and I sacrifice Luke. This is not how I wanted things to end. I'm down to 2 Pokemon. I bring Tag in. Tag has been healed up because of an elixir that I did find, and we start going for Meditate. I managed to get to +4 by the time Donphan wakes up, and I can fire off a hidden power that does about half. Fire off another one that doesn't get the range, leaving Donphan in low red health, and we get hit with an earthquake for half. Algo goes for a full restore, so I go for Milk Drink, almost healing ourselves all the way up, 2 points shy of full HP. I then get to +5 with Meditate as we get hit with another earthquake, and then we fire off a hidden power that this time is definitely going to 2-shot. Earthquake brings us to 92 HP, and I can fire off one more hidden power bug that takes Donphan out. Salamence comes out. We get that Intimidate, bringing us down to +4, which is a little bit annoying, and I go for Milk Drink to heal myself up as Salamence goes for Scary Face. Okay. Salamence then goes for Protect, so I don't get to fire off a hidden power. Next turn, hidden power bug fires off and does not do a lot of damage despite being +4. I go for Meditate to get to +5. Salamence hits us with a Dragon Breath that does a little bit of damage, and I get to +6 with Meditate. I then go for Milk Drink, thinking Salamence is going to go for Protect, which was a good read on my part. So now we're at +6, and it goes for Protect again. Annoying, but I can fire off a hidden power bug the very next turn, and this time it's doing a decent amount of damage, but puts Salamence in full restore range. Hidden power bug is doing just under half at +6. I only have one hidden power left. I stay in and tank a Dragon Breath to the face as I fire off my last hidden power, taking Salamence down to red health. I know Algo's going to heal up with another full restore, so I just go for Milk Drink in case I need Tag to swap in for something, and I swap out Bree. Bree comes in and gets hit with a Dragon Breath on the swap in that doesn't do much, and let's fire off a Hidden Power Rock to see what it does. Not quite half. Okay, so it's a 3-shot. We get hit with Scary Face for the speed drop, and we go for Tickle to lower its attack and defense. Dragon Breath takes us to 90 HP, and I fire off a Hidden Power Rock that gets the range to KO the Salamence. It is now a 2v1. Unfortunately, Tag has no more attacking moves, and Wheezing comes out. Well, this thing could go boom very quickly, and instead it's going for Destiny Bond. I go for Mind Reader to put this thing to sleep next turn with a Hypnosis. I then decide to try to get this thing low defense with Tickle, getting off a couple of tickles, and then firing off a hidden power, seeing that it doesn't do a lot of damage. Wheezing wakes up and is still going for Destiny Bond, as I go for Tickle again. Now it is at -3 attack, -3 defense, and it uses Haze. Whoa. I put this thing to sleep with Hypnosis and then start going for Tickle again. I'm actually not sure what the hell to do right now. I don't think Wheezing can blow up because Bree has the damp ability. So we try to go for a couple more tickles, hoping for some good sleep luck, but Wheezing wakes up and immediately uses Haze. I go for Tickle again. It's still going for Destiny Bond. It's got Haze. So I swap in Tag, hoping that this thing will just blow up. I have one more Pokemon, it's fine. Nothing I can do, so we just go for Meditate. Wheezing does not blow up, it goes for Destiny Bond, which is hilarious. I can't do anything to you. Just go for Meditate, it goes for Haze, and then finally, instead of blowing up, Wheezing goes for Memento. What? Why? This is the rival saying, you can't beat me, I beat myself. You got played, son. Doesn't matter, I'm still the champion and I won the run. But that ending, though, that champion battle was over 15 minutes of real time. The Elite Four in and of itself was over 2 hours of real time. There was a portion there where after Fissure, I was just sat there. Like, what the hell just happened? When I lost Han, the same thing. Anyway, Fire Red is a fairly easy game to Nuzlocke. Doing a randomizer like this was fun to get my feet wet in a game that I know very well. We had some good workarounds, but having hidden power as the only attacking move and no real stab options was detrimental to the run. It's part of the reason we lost Han. If that was a stab steal move, he definitely would have one shot that Rhydon and we wouldn't have lost him. Anyway, this was so much fun and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel and you made it this far. The name theme was obviously Star Wars, but more specifically the original trilogy. None of these Pokemon were named from anything from the first three movies that came out in the 2000s or the last three that Disney made. It was all from the original trilogy in the late 70s, early 80s. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.